Bonjour YouTube, welcome back to our channel. Today we're in Normandy and we're going to be taking you to Honfleur. On y va! So we are finally back to going out of the region. It's a ride of 2 hours today, so that should be fun. We are back at Saint-Lazare and coffee, and we're just waiting for the train. On the seat already, Sinan decided to go out because someone is really stinky. Someone smells really bad. You can sweat. Yeah. Here's Sinan in the window. Hopefully he will get on the train before we depart. He's already eating his chips. It's ridiculous. Today we're taking you on a trip to the north of Normandy, the region that we love to visit so much. We were hoping for better weather, and when we booked this trip, the forecast looked promising. But as you can see, it's raining, so this should be interesting.
We arrived to La Gare du Havre, built by Henri Pacon in 1932 in Art Deco style, very characteristic for the time.
From here we got a bus to Honfleur and crossed the insanely high and long Pont de Normandie onto the opposite side of the Seine estuary. We are in Honfleur. We just arrived. The gare, the bus stop is there. Sinan is cleaning his shoes. He thinks that his shoes are going to be clean today. They are not going to be clean today. It's raining. It's raining. It's going to be raining anyway. By the way, when I was booking the tickets, it was supposed to be sunny. But since we're in Normandy, it's windy. It's going to rain. It already rained. And Sinan, you know what? One thing, guys. You don't know one thing about Sinan. Whenever we travel somewhere and I tell him wear something warmer, okay? He never does. Look at what he's wearing. Look, cardigan. And he's already cold.
When you arrive to Honfleur, you are immediately met with the old basin that is painted, photographed and filmed by pretty much everyone who visits this city. And there are 4 million of visitors a year, by the way.
The basin is rightfully popular as it's picturesque and very characteristic to the region.
It was Colbert who widened the basin in the 17th century.
The buildings surrounding it date to 18th century and they are particularly interesting as they were built on top of each other and therefore had multiple owners.
Although in the past, majority of the population were fishermen and seamen, they have left their place to restaurants, boutiques and hotels today.
The basin is also home to the oldest church in the city, Église Saint-Catherine, built here around the year 1369. Today it hosts the Marine Museum.
At the entrance to the old basin is La Lieutenance. It also happens to be the oldest building in the city.
Until 17th century, it was part of the fortification walls that protected Honfleur, as well as hosted the living quarters of the Lieutenant of the King.
To its side, visitors can see a small commemorative plaque with a statue of Samuel de Champlain, a navigator who embarked on a voyage to Canada in April of 1608 and founded the city of Quebec.
So we just had pain au chocolat that wasn't so nice. It was dry. We're getting the feeling that this city is very similar to Etretat in a sense that there are so many tourists, but it's so cute and so pretty. The architecture is superb. This street that we found
so picturesque. Apparently Monet came here to draw in 19th century. I really want to go to Cathedral Sainte-Catherine. It's very famous because they built the cathedral in one side, on the other side they built the cloche.
Bell Tower.
Bell Tower. It looks awesome as well.
That was chocolate, and this street really reminds me of Mont Saint-Michel. If you haven't seen our episode from there, highly recommend it. It's really nice. We stayed there for 2 days. So we're just walking around and exploring. It's really, really lovely. And this city is all about detail, you know, like you look at the small buildings, the typical Normand buildings. It makes me feel like I am either in Mont Saint-Michel or I'm in Etretat, you know, like it's really touristy, but it's pretty. Yeah. It's really pretty. We are so blessed. Thank God the rain stopped. I was worried. I mean, look at this street. It's so cute.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Everything is so narrow, so small.
It's lovely.
Everything's like, but detailed, of course. I'm tired, plus I did the leg workout on Friday, so I can barely move. And today we will be walking the whole day, so great timing for me and for Anton.
We're going to the panorama view And apparently there is another church. The incline is a bit steep, but it's fine. And again, I love the fact, thank God for this weather. I was so worried, it was horrible in the morning.
Yeah, now it's much better.
It's so much better now.
Yeah.
It's because I'm here, you know? It's because I'm here.
At the top of the hill, the view is marvelous with Le Havre and is Port Grace in the other side of the estuary.
Here we are met with Chapelle Notre-Dame-de-Grâce, one of the oldest sanctuaries in Normandy. It is dedicated to the seamen. The first building was built here in the 11th century, however destroyed in a landslide, it had to be replaced back in the 17th century by the one we see today.
It is dedicated to the Notre-Dame-de-Grâce, the defender and the protector of Honfleur.
Today the chapel continues its tradition of being a place of pilgrimage, especially for Pentecost. I really want to see as much as possible, because today is Sunday and there are only 2 more buses left from here. So there were only 3 in total, yes. So we have to kind of like move it to see as much as possible, because tomorrow we want to explore more of Le Havre. Well, because, yeah, just because.
Back in the centre-ville of Honfleur, we found ourselves in front of the incredible Église Sainte-Catherine.
This is one of the biggest wooden churches in France and is unique in the country, as its bell tower is separated from the main structure. You may wonder why the bell tower was built separately from the church itself. Well, a couple of reasons. Since the tower is built entirely out of wood due to lack of funds, it was separated from the church to avoid any possible structural threat to the main building due to the vibration caused by the bells. The second reason is to avoid any damage to the church should the tower be struck by lightning and catch fire.
Inside it is a small museum dedicated to the history of the church with some religious works and sculptures, including those from the Chapelle Notre-Dame-de-Grâce we just visited.
For security reasons, it's not possible to climb up the tower. It is simply too narrow and old, but a quick visit to this place is definitely recommended.
Upon entering the main church structure, visitors may feel like they are at a fish market hall. The double-walled design is reminiscent of a local market and upside-down boat. After all, the locals knew how to build boats very well.
The building was built at the exact place of a previous church that was destroyed during the same 100 Years' War. The construction started as soon as the English left.
In the 19th century, the church was thoroughly restored and received a new neoclassical porch with Greek columns.
We love it here, everything smells of wood. It's just perfect.
The quarter surrounding Église Sainte-Catherine or Le Faubourg des Marins is a real pleasure to explore by foot. Here, you have ideally conserved medieval streets dotted with art galleries, wooden houses, boutiques and restaurants.
Before we head back to Le Havre, we stopped by the gorgeous Église Saint-Léonard. Although the initial church existed here as early as 1186, following numerous fires and destructions, the current building we see is the result of many reconstructions in 17th and 18th centuries. Hence the mix of the architectural styles, including Old Gothic, Flamboyant Gothic, as well as Renaissance.
Inside the church are the incredibly beautiful murals and the wooden vault with exposed frame.
To us, it seemed to be unique and unusual for Normandy, and we have yet to see something similar in this region. So we got to the apartment that we rented, got under the rain, completely, well, my feet are wet. Sinan is not wet apparently. I'm so hungry and I'm so tired. This is one of the things, like, we didn't want to stay in any restaurants or anything. It was pouring rain, crazy. We couldn't even record, but we managed to record majority of the things in Honfleur. I was gonna say Le Havre, but we are in Le Havre. So we got baguette. Thankfully it didn't get wet. We got some chocolate. Mind you, today everything is closed because it's Sunday, right? So this is the best we could do. We got black chocolate with mint. Got some chickpeas. Got some pasta. I think it's Emmental, no? Cheese. Yeah, Emmental cheese. We never buy grinded cheese because grinded cheese is not cheap. You should always get the cheese in the piece, like full. And we got Provençal sauce. And while I'm preparing pasta, let me tell you what I think of Honfleur so far. I actually think it's so similar to Etretat. Yeah, it doesn't have the same cliffs and all, but it feels very similar. In a sense that it feels like, I don't know, there's too much foam, hang on. It feels like a city that is done for tourists. Very, very small city, but really pretty. And there are so many tourists and everything is much more expensive. Like, I'm glad we didn't get the apartment there and we got the apartment au Havre, because here in Le Havre you can at least, you know, do more things, which is what we're gonna do. Dinner is ready. This is for Sinan and mine is coming up. So we had our dinner and we're super tired. For this episode we're gonna finish it here because we're super tired. We're just gonna stay home. And in the meantime, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. So if you like this episode, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you don't like the episode, you can also dislike it. So until the next one, au revoir.